$50 a week sounds small. It's one delivery order you skip, a couple of coffees, a ride share you walk instead. But stack that small move with time and a little structure, and you can go from $0 to $100,000. Today, we're going to prove it with real math, show exactly how long it takes, and give you 3 simple ways to speed it up without feeling deprived. Education only, not financial advice. Start with the core habit. Set an automatic transfer for $50 every week from checking into an investment account. Do it on payday so you never see the money in the wild. Buy something boring and broad, like a low-cost total market index fund or an all-in-one target date fund that rebalances for you. Your edge here is not stock picking, it's consistency, low fees and time in the market. Now the question you care about, how long to 100,000? At a long-run estimate of roughly 7% a year, not guaranteed, $50 a week is $2,600 a year. With weekly contributions, that gets you to 100,000 in about 19 years. At 5% returns, it's about 21.5 years. At 9%, it's roughly 17 years. The point is not to worship a specific number, it's to see that a small, boring habit plus time gets you there without heroics. If 19 years feels far away, good news. You have 3 levers that speed this up without blowing up your life. Lever 1 is the tiny auto increase. Every year on your birthday, bump your weekly amount by $5. 50 a week this year, 55 next year, 60 the year after. Same habit, slightly bigger snowball. With that $5 annual nudge, you hit 100,000 in about 15 years, not 19. You won't feel the extra 5. Your future will. Lever 2 is free money in disguise, the employer match. If your job offers a retirement plan match, capturing the full match can effectively turn your 50 into 75 or 100 a week on day 1, depending on your pay and plan rules. That cuts your timeline to about 15 years at 75 a week and roughly 12 years at 100 a week. You cannot outsmart free money. Set your contribution to grab the full match first, then do the rest of this plan in whatever account makes sense for you. Lever 3 is the short season of extra cash. You don't need a second career, you need a believable plus $300 a month for a few months a year that you send straight to investments and then stop. Think tutoring, pet sitting, weekend event work, local services, or a small freelance task you can do without draining your main job. Keep your life intact. Route 100% of that temporary income to your auto invest. When the season ends, keep the new higher deposit and retire the gig. That one burst can shave a year or 2 off your timeline. Let's talk guardrails so you don't get knocked off the path by real life. Build a tiny emergency buffer, $250 to $1,000, so a flat tire doesn't force you to sell investments. If you have high interest debt, keep investing enough to capture the match. If you have one, then attack the debt hard using a hybrid method. Wipe out the smallest balance for momentum, then hammer the highest APR for maximum math. Every balance you erase permanently raises how much you can invest per week. What do you actually buy with your 50? Keep it simple and cheap. A broad total market index fund plus a small international slice, or a single all-in-one target date fund that auto-rebalances. Do not chase hot stocks. Do not time the market. If the market dips, your weekly purchase just buys more shares at a discount. If the market rises, your balance swells while you keep buying. Either way, you win by showing up. You'll hit a few psychological milestones along the way. The first 5,000 feels like a puddle. Then 10. Then 25. Around 30 to 40,000, something changes. In a good month, the growth starts to rival your deposit. At 50 to 60,000, you'll occasionally see the account grow more in a month than you contributed. That's the flywheel turning itself. At 100,000, a typical 7% year adds about $7,000 without you lifting a finger. That's groceries, rent, or a vacation, paid for by a system you set up years ago. What if the market crashes while I'm building? Then you keep buying. Downturns feel awful and look amazing in hindsight because your fixed weekly amount buys more shares at lower prices. Your job is not to predict, it's to participate. Keep your cash buffer, avoid high-interest debt, and let the plan run. How do I find the first 50? 3 low-pain moves. First, do a loyalty audit. Call your phone, internet, or insurance provider and ask for a better rate. A 30-minute call often frees $20 to $50 a month. Second, the subscription sweep. Cancel one thing you barely use and one thing you won't miss for 90 days. Third, the food flip. One meal you usually order out becomes a planned home cook. Don't try to be a monk. Just reassign one habit and automate the difference. What if I'm late? It's not too late, it's just math. A 40-year-old starting at 50 a week is still on a path to 100,000 in about 19 years. Bump to 75 and it's roughly 15. Hit 100 and it's around 12. Add a small lump sum, refund, bonus, or selling gear you don't use, and you pull the finish line closer. 5,000 upfront plus 50 a week moves you a full year ahead. A quick note on accounts and taxes. In the US, if you have a workplace plan with a match, start there. If you're eligible for a Roth IRA or a TFSA in Canada, the tax-free growth and withdrawals are powerful. Otherwise, a simple brokerage works fine. Just keep an eye on taxes and fees. The investing core does not change. Low cost, broad, automatic. Keep motivation simple. Put a one-page scoreboard where you'll see it once a month. Current balance, weekly deposit, next auto-increase date, and your reason. Celebrate small milestones at 10, 25, 50, and 75,000 with something memorable that doesn't break the plan. And use the rule of 72 as a patience hack. At roughly 7%, money doubles about every 10 years. The earlier you start stacking dollars, the less heroic your weekly number has to be. Here's your 1-hour setup. Log in and set your contribution to capture your full employer match. Open or confirm your low-cost index fund or target date fund. Turn on a weekly auto transfer for $50. Schedule a $5 auto increase each year. Build a tiny emergency buffer. Make one loyalty audit call and redirect the savings to your weekly deposit. Done. The rest is time and repetition. The first 50 matters because it's proof. The next 50 matters because it builds momentum. And the habit you build along the way matters because it makes the rest of your goals possible. You don't need a miracle. You need one small automatic action, repeated for longer than most people can stand. That's how $50 a week becomes $100,000 and how $100,000 becomes the life you actually want.